What's up guys, Gary here with SelfTaughtDev. Today we're going to go over how to set up an NX Monorepo. First things first, navigate to where you want this project to be set up. We're in Documents, GitHub Tests, but your path can be wherever you would like the project to be. Next, we're going to run npx create-nx-workspace at latest, and then the name of the project. So we'll use adoptable because for this hypothetical, we're creating a site where you can adopt pets. And then we'll press enter, and it's gonna run through some configuration for us. I'm going to use React, but feel free to use whichever framework or library you would like. I'm gonna use next. This is going to be an integrated monorepo. You can do standalone, but we're setting up monorepos in this video, so integrated monorepo it is. Application name is adoptable. Yes, we're gonna use app router, SRC. We'll use Cypress, Tailwind, and GitHub Actions will be our CI provider. Now, while that's setting up, we're gonna take a look at the NX plugin registry. So what we're doing right now is creating our NX boilerplate. It's gonna set up a React project for us since we chose React, but for our backend, we are going to use Nest. So I'll open this up. If you wanted to use something different like Node or Express, or any other kind of project that you would like to add to your NX monorepo, just dig through these plugins here, and there's documentation on how to set that up. It should be pretty similar to this. Since we're already setting up our base project, we're gonna ignore this create NX workspace with the preset, and we're just going to go to this NX add NX nest. So since this is finished, let's go ahead and open this up in VS Code. We'll cd to adoptable. We'll do code dot, and that will open VS Code up for us. I'm gonna move my head back down to the bottom left here so it's out of the way. But we can see we've got our ESLint, our prettier RC, jest, and package JSON stuff. And then if we look inside the apps directory, we've got adoptable and adoptable-e2e for our end-to-end tests. Now, something I recommend installing if you're using a VS Code is NX console. This is going to make it a lot easier to run some of the NX commands. We can just go to the NX console here, and then it will show our projects. We can open these up, and it makes it nice and easy to run the dev build of our project. If you don't have this extension, you can just run npx NX run your project name, semicolon dev, and it will build the project for you. Then we'll open this up in localhost 3000, and we can see that we've got our React project boilerplate set up. Now let's go ahead and add Nest. So we'll close this and then open our terminal back up. And from here, first we need to add Nest to our project. So we'll do NX add at NX/Nest. If you're using another plugin, you would follow a similar format, just change Nest to whatever project you want to add, and then that will install it into your NX project. Now we want this to show up in our apps folder. So we are going to change directory to apps. And then in here, we're going to do NXG for generate at NX/Nest, which is the plugin we want to use. And then we're going to just say build an app, and then we'll pass in the name of the app. So this is just going to be adoptable-API since it's going to be our backend. And then we will let that generate. Cool, and then if we go look in our apps, now we have adoptable-API and adoptable-API-E2E. Now to run these, we'll just go back to our NX console. For the front end, we'll just run dev. And then for the back end, we will open up serve and run development for this as well. I'm going to split my terminals so that I can see both of them at the same time. We can see that our front end is successfully running. Our backend is complaining because we are trying to run that on the same port as the front end. So we're gonna dig into our backend. We're gonna go to main.ts, and then we're just gonna change this to port 3001. We'll kill this process, close that terminal instance, and then run our backend development one more time. And we can see that this time it is successfully running. Now, we don't have any logic set up to communicate between the front end and the back end. I'm gonna make another video after this on how to set up APIs with this, But that's the general idea of how to set up a monorepo with NX. We've got our React front end, we've got our Nest API backend. If you wanted to set up more React projects within here, we could go to our terminal and then we could run nxg for generate at nx/react ;app, and then we'll name this test just because that's the name we're going to give it. We'll have to run through the configuration again. We'll just select the same stuff. We can make that true. We'll use Playwright this time and Webpack. And then that would add another React project to our apps called test. And then after that finished up, we can see that we've got our test and test E2E. Maybe you don't want the E2E file, or we actually don't want either of these permanently. So we're just going to delete both of these projects, move those to the recycle bin, and then we are good to go. But that's how you would set up a monorepo with NX. Hope you learned something. If you did, give me a thumbs up so YouTube knows I'm putting out good stuff. Hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the content and tutorials I'm putting out. And I think that's about it for this one. If you do want to come join the Discord or the SelfTaughtDev subreddit, SelfTaughtDev subreddit's in the top 20% of all biggest Reddits, which is kind of cool. But links for both of those are in the description, and then I'll also have a link to the NX documentation in the description as well if you want to read more about that or find specific plugins. But I will catch you in the next one. Peace.